Hi, so what is up, guys? It's been very minute tuning into the Beaded podcast. We talk about real life stories from everyday people. We have been on for episode 45, and thank you so much to all of you who have been watching, who have been giving your response, who have commented on all the episodes that you have watched. Thank you so much for all the support. And episode 46 is here. I am joined by a lady here, clad in green, who is a wife, a mother, and an Iban living in Perth, Australia, a part-time entrepreneur and singer, and an instructional designer. I've never heard of that, so I'm going to ask more about that later on. Without further ado, I will welcome, and let us welcome Debbie Entayang to the Beaded podcast. Welcome to the show. So, how are you? How's your Saturday like? Can you come nearer to the mic?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, all good.
Okay.
It has been hectic for the last 3 weeks now.
Right.
So it's coming towards the end of my holiday. So we're going back next week to Perth. So yeah, it's been busy. Like it's non-stop trying to catch up with everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Living in Perth, right? How long has that been?
I have been in Perth coming to 24 years.
24 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It sounds long, but it doesn't feel that long.
It does feel long to me. Like 24 sounds like a big number, but yeah, okay.
No, when you started to count, I was
Right.
like, oh yeah, that's over 2 decades, so it is quite long.
From the year 2000.
Yeah. After SPM, I went to Perth to study, and then after graduated, and I got a job, so I stepped back, and then I met someone, and then now obviously I'm residing there, and I have a 1 year 2 months old baby.
1 year 2 months.
Yeah, there, yes.
Yeah, nice. Boy or girl?
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
Can we have his name?
We call him Jed.
Hi Jade.
Ridi Jed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we call him Jed.
Nice. Okay. Okay. For your information, for all the viewers out there, this is actually our first time meeting.
Yes.
We did not know each other. I didn't know her. Okay. This story is quite cool because she approached me and then she said that, hey, I actually enjoyed watching your podcast. And yeah, thank you so much for the support. I mean, I never thought that.
Following, so it's kind of cool. Yeah.
Never thought that I could reach Perth, but here we are.
No, I thought, well, since I'm back, and then obviously you're in coaching, and then I'm in coaching. I thought, why not we just catch up? Yeah,
catch up and talk
over
stuff.
Casual talk.
Yeah, casual talk, like a kopitiam talk, but here in my room, in my studio, in a way. Yeah. So you've been here for almost 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
What have you been doing for the past 3 weeks?
We've been traveling everywhere,
Meeting.
eating. That's the big thing. So I got pretty much all my lists tick off. Probably only a couple like maybe chinchalo.
Okay.
You know, all the things that I can't really like not easily grab kind of food.
Panso.
Panso, I've actually had a couple already.
Oh,
so I got my uncle to panso for me.
Okay.
So they all good now.
Yeah. Right. Any places that you have visited?
Well,
the museum?
No. I'm just not that.
Okay, you're not the museum girl.
No.
Okay. Right.
I thought about it. I was like, no.
Okay. So where do you go then for the past 3 weeks?
It was just like we've been flying everywhere. We just came back from Miri yesterday.
Oh, Miri.
Like I said to you earlier, because I'm from Miri, so most of my relatives, families are in Miri. So I flew to Bintulu, and then I went to Miri. We were in KL, so we've been into several places.
Here and there lah.
Yeah, so that's why I said it's been hectic, tiring, flying everywhere, especially with a baby.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
But all good.
Yeah.
It's good to see. Put it this way, it's good to see your family when you've been away for.
Yeah.
Because this is the first trip post-COVID. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
We usually will come home like every year or twice a year, like during Gawai and Christmas. But obviously with COVID, and then I fell pregnant and I got birth. So so this after 1 year, then
a few years later, after COVID, here you are.
Yeah. So it's good to be back. Yeah.
Nice. So you're in Kuching. Do you have a place here, or do you stay with your relatives?
My mom and my sisters. they're here.
Oh, okay.
And then my brother in KL, my other sister is in Singapore, and my elder sister in the UK. So we only get to see each other during festive season.
Nice.
So
Okay.
my brother and my sister actually flew back. So they were here for a couple of days, and then my brother also went to Miri with us. So just you just even if you get to spend like a few days with your family, that's like better than nothing.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Even
So we made that effort to kind of like reunite.
Yeah. Even half a day is better than none.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Just that feeling, just to be together. So that's
a bonding time.
Correct.
Yeah. I think the older you get, the more we appreciate our family
definitely.
members.
Yeah. You don't have to go out. You literally just sit on the dining table, have a chat. That's just beautiful to me.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
I couldn't do that before, but after a while, after I grow up, I can't help to say this, but after I get older,
you just appreciate.
I do appreciate my family, and then over a meal or just a simple evening tea with my family members. And the dining table and just catch up with stuff. That's beautiful.
That's right. After we lost our dad a few years ago.
All right.
And obviously, so we spent most of the time with mom. My mom was in Perth last year during my confinement. So, to come home just to spend time with her, that's just, even to sleep in the same room, it probably sound kind of like, really, but it actually means a lot.
Yeah.
So those are the things. You're trying to cherish every little things nowadays.
Correct. Time ticks.
Definitely.
So
and when our parent gets older, and then we actually started to realize that, like as we age, age as well.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So that's our take on a little bit of family. And now we want to know about Debbie more. So in front of you, for those of you who are watching, you know this segment already. For those who do not know, there are 6 cards here. It's called Icebreaker Deeper Talk, where it's an icebreaker session for me and you to know the guests of the day. And the guest of the day is Debbie. So we would like to know about her by her asking all these questions here. There are 6 cards here, 6 categories: dreams, life lessons, exposed, courage, beliefs, and self-awareness. So we would like to have Debbie to choose 2 cards, 2 different colors out of the 6 piles of cards here.
Okay.
Go ahead and choose.
Let's start with green, because I'm wearing green.
Okay, green. Green is exposed. Okay.
Do I read it out?
You can choose another card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And yellow. Life lessons. Okay, choose which one you answer first.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start with exposed.
Okay, exposed is green.
Because I think that's probably much easier than the other one.
Okay.
Okay, the question goes, what was missing from your childhood? I probably don't know any different when you're young. But I think I had a really fun childhood. When I don't know this, but during my time, we literally like outdoor all the time.
Yeah.
In the afternoon, outdoor, like main longkang or things like that.
Yeah, main parit.
Yeah, and then because between my cousins, we're pretty much about the same age.
Right.
So we spend a lot of time together, like the afternoon, like before school, you just play outside. So those memories actually remains, and we still like chuckle over it. Like we joke, when you terjatuh main basikal kind of thing.
Remember those days when we were
and I can't think of anything that was missing. And then you spend time with your parents, like even if it, like little things like sending you to school, for example, because they are also parents that works full time, that they don't get to send their kids and use the bus sekolah kind of thing. But my mom took the effort, like send us and pick us from school, and I thought that was sweet. Because now that when I'm a mom, I was like, it actually take a lot of effort to prepare breakfast, to do all those little things. So I think my childhood.
You don't miss much.
Yeah, it was no.
Cool. All right.
Next one. Yeah. What have you learned about love? I'll probably more towards family love. I think that's the biggest thing. Love. because it starts from love. Then you care for each other,
Right.
and then then you show your empathy, and so everything to me starts with love.
Right.
And whatever you want to achieve, if you have love with the care, you will get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you don't achieve it now, eventually you will,
Mm.
because you do have that love and support from family per se.
Yeah.
So to me, yeah, that's how I see it. And also love also goes two ways.
Mm.
So like you're giving and you're receiving. Yeah. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's pretty. Yeah. That's my take.
I'm gonna answer both. Thank you.
Yeah.
What was missing from your childhood?
I don't know. How do you interpret that question?
Yeah.
Missing what? As
What-
in like what
yeah.
did I miss, or what I'm like missing the most about my
Exactly.
childhood?
I don't get it as well.
So hence I actually answered like what was missing.
Yeah.
But what I miss is spending time
Yeah.
outdoor with my
Yeah.
cousins. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're pretty close. So
Mm.
yeah, I do miss that. Yeah,
Right.
but you don't do that nowadays.
Yeah.
Everyone sits in front of their screen.
Yeah, it was just play around the gadgets and let's
Yeah.
play Roblox. You know, like my
Yeah.
nephew, he likes to play Roblox a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was missing from my childhood? I would say, what am I missing from my childhood? I'm just gonna echo your answer a bit because
that's good.
I was drawn towards your explanation on how some parents could not have the time and privilege to send their kids to school.
Yeah.
Because I have a colleague of mine who works here in Lundu, but his family is in Batunia, which is like thousands of kilometers away.
Yeah, that's a distance.
Yeah, quite a distance. So I would hear stories from my colleague saying that, I miss my daughter so much. Sometimes my daughter will say things like, "Oh, Daddy, look at my classmates' parents. They send them to school, and I cannot have you in the school. I miss you, Dad." And I mean, even though I'm not married yet, but as a human being, you do feel sorry. I can relate to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the experience to experience this sort of way. Like my parents send me to school, will pick me up from school and all that.
Yeah.
So it's a privilege. And as a mother, if you have mentioned just now, you try your best to send your kids to school, to pick them back.
Yeah.
It's a way for you to show your love in a way.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
And I think parents, I know it's easier said than done. Parents could, if you could, pick your kids to school, send them and yada. But easier said than done. Time is not within our reach sometimes. Time is our enemy.
Yeah.
We can't seem to do things because we just need to do things rushing here and there, chasing after time, blah blah blah. So I think just to echo your story just now, I feel sorry for my friend's daughter.
Yeah.
But I just hope that they'll enjoy the time, cherish the time.
That's right. Because time passes us like really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like yesterday when I gave birth to my son. Now he's like walking. So to me, the journey, I'm trying to kind of, as much as it's really tiring because I work full time, but I will always trying to see where I can kind of like spend more quality time with him. Like we pick him around probably 5-ish, and then by the time we get home, almost 6, and then his bedtime is around 7. So literally we only have that small window.
Yeah.
So I always try to, spend time, even if I have to sit in the playpen, I'll do that. If after sometimes when it is really like a long day, you feel so drained.
Yeah.
But when I start to think like I don't think I'm gonna have this day again with my son, kind of thing, I'll literally make an effort. Like my husband and I will be like, "Oh, take your shower," and once we take turn, and then we just sit there and just do playing games. So things like that. To me, hopefully, even though he probably wouldn't understand it now because he's still so young, but if we do that as a routine, eventually he will somehow grow up remembering that we make that effort.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't, like nowadays, both parents goes to work. You don't have the privilege for not going to work per se.
Right.
So how you can compensate that? You just have to try to think how you can fit in with their schedule.
Yeah. I can't help it but to think of the things that I've seen from my own nephew. He's now 8 years old.
Yeah.
8 years ago, he was just a small boy crawling around, being a naughty boy, would drag things from here and there.
Yeah.
His hands would fast reach over things that's nearby him. And then fast forward to a few months later, his first word was Dayak, like wow. And then without realizing it, he started to walk.
Yeah.
He started to use his legs to walk. And now, an 8-year boy, he would just Google things, the things that would scratch his head. Like, let me Google things.
Yeah.
So grab his phone and Google. I'm like, whoa. He is now a grown-up boy. No longer a small boy, a small baby.
Yeah.
Now he's a toddler. Not a toddler, like an 8-year-old kid. An 8-year-old boy. Yeah. And I mean, this... I just wish that he wouldn't grow up that fast.
No, like I have a 7 years old nephew.
Yeah.
So obviously I've seen him from the day he got his mom deliver.
Yeah.
And yesterday, what we just watching TV randomly, and then he took his storybook and then he started to read it because now. Most kids, they speak English better than their own dialect, their own lingo.
Yeah,
the same goes, I think, everyone. Yeah. So he find it difficult to even converse properly in Iban and also in Bahasa. So we he probably going to take a while for him to kind of read properly. But then he actually made that effort and read out like a whole paragraph. And I was like, you were... And I still call him baby because I've seen him from baby.
Yeah.
And you in that stage, like you're so in denial that he's still a baby. But he kept on telling me, "Oh, please don't call me baby. I'm a boy and I'm big boy." You know how they always want to be seen as a big boy.
Yeah.
So no, you're right. Like time flies, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. The transition is fast.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
you're right. Going towards the language, my nephew, we try to educate him in English most of the time.
Yeah.
And he speaks well, better than some of us in the family, and also his exposure towards the gadgets, the things that he's watched on YouTube, the things that he watched on TV.
Yeah.
What do you call that? Those TV baby channels and all that. They're all in English. And sometimes he would find it difficult to pronounce things in Bahasa Malaysia or Dayo. Last year, he would say this phrase, "Semalat pagi cikgu," instead of "Selamat pagi." No matter how many times we would correct him, I'll tell him, "It's Selamat pagi cikgu." He would still say "Semalat pagi cikgu."
Yeah, there's a struggle.
And then if you fast forward to a few months later, he can probably say "Selamat pagi cikgu."
That's an achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an achievement. It's a small one for him. Like he would text me randomly, "Uncle Jojo, I have 10 out of 10 for spelling test." I was like, "Oh, congratulations!" Yeah. And I think that's beautiful. I mean, not everyone gets to experience that, and I'm privileged enough to experience that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you see him as your son.
Yeah.
It's the same goes to me, like, because my husband and I have been married for like 16 years until I got pregnant. So as you can imagine, that long, we actually didn't expect that we're gonna be pregnant. So that's why, like, my nephew is just like our son. Like we bought things for him. We took him everywhere pretty much when we travel, and then he came to Perth. So we see him literally, like, that's what I said, from baby, and then now it's like, a young boy. But wow, how did you get to primary 1 so fast?
Felt like yesterday you were still a small baby. Now in primary 1. Same. Yeah. And are you actually that worried that your nephew couldn't speak Iban or Bahasa Malaysia? Do you have that? I'm scared that he can't speak.
Initially, I think the whole family, like my mom and obviously his mom. But now, because he's I think he's going. Hang on, I think is it SK Arang?
Okay,
somewhere?
SK Arang.
And because I think friends, some of his friends converse in Bahasa, so I think he's also trying to converse with them.
Yeah.
It gets better, but I don't think at this stage he can form like a proper Bahasa sentence. Yeah. So, but I don't, as time goes by, I'm pretty sure he will be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I think also now we try to like speak in Iban more often and get him to respond. Because he understands.
Yeah.
He understands.
Yeah.
It's just that he will respond in English.
Yeah.
But now we keep on telling him, no, you have to answer back in Iban.
Yeah.
And that goes to my son too. I'll speak Iban to my son because at school everyone speaks English, and then when he goes to kindy or preschool,
Right.
they will speak English anyway.
Yeah.
So I will always try to speak Iban, and hopefully he will respond in Iban one day when he can speak.
Yeah. Definitely he will.
But that's my aim. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a stigma that I've seen on the internet that if we expose to the young ones English, they couldn't pick up the mother tongue. And I actually have studied this a few months ago about this subject.
Yeah.
It's actually not true. It's not a fact. It's just fake facts that if you teach them English from young, they cannot pick up their mother tongue, which is wrong because the brain of kids they will grow until the age of 12 or 13. So they have these 12 to 13 years
they have the
of
ability
development. The ability to pick up languages, which is not the language that they're exposed to when they're young. So let's say, for example, for my nephew and for your nephew, they were exposed in English since young, and then by the time that they reach probably by the age of 10 or 11, they'll slowly pick up other languages besides English.
Yeah.
And parents out there, if you're worried that your child cannot speak Bahasa Malaysia or your mother tongue, do not worry because they'll pick up along the way.
Yeah.
You just need time. You just need to be patient and just
to support them or trying to correct them if they're like. I'm not sure with your nephew, but with my nephew, it's just the pronunciation and also the slang.
Yeah.
That's why I said I kept on laughing. Why do it sound like that? When he's trying to answer my mom, he will answer. He said "ow," but the slang is so different. We always like kind of laugh at him. But if we engage in trying to support it, eventually, he will probably converse like naturally. Yeah. At what level? We just support them. We don't. Yeah. It's not an issue, I don't think.
Yeah. Language is there's no time limit to learn when to stop. I've seen adults, I've seen elders, the elderly try to learn Mandarin.
The languages,
Japan and a Japanese language, and it's the same thing goes to our kids, our nephews. So young parents out there, I know some of you have been wondering, how can I teach my children how to speak Bahasa Malaysia? Do not worry, do not fret, and just push aside the naysayers saying that it's your kids will not know how to speak Bahasa Malaysia. You are doomed, no. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna answer this. What have you learned about love? What have I learned about self-love? To be honest, I'm just gonna put it there. Self-love is where I focus on myself first. I put myself on a pedestal. I put an immense level of success that I want to put, the motivation. I set goals for myself, which I've never done so for the past 30 years. And now that I'm about to reach 31, I have actually managed to put some goals written, the things that I want to achieve this year, 2024. And it's ongoing. It's a work in progress, but every day is a work in progress. You just have to work for it. And success will come one day. You just have to be patient.
Was it difficult though for you to kind of like shift your mindset? I have to agree with you. When I was much younger, obviously see things differently.
Yeah.
You put other people's first. You're not being selfish, but for some reason that's how your brain works. But trying to shift that to love, like self-love kind of thing, to me is quite hard.
Yeah.
But in your experience, or what are the things that you like? What are the approaches for you to shift that? If you don't mind to share. No, I'm
it's okay.
questioning
Nice
you.
question. Yeah, no. I love it. I love this question. Okay, the transition from loving others first to love myself. It took me many failed relationships to actually realize that I have put other people's needs and wants first.
Yeah.
And my needs second. So after reflecting on all these failed relationships, then I figured that, okay, I can see the bird eye view now, that I actually put them first, put their needs, put whatever they want first, and then whatever that I think that I should do for myself, that I should correct about myself, I didn't do so because my eyes were fixated so much on them to a point where I didn't even realize that I was actually in a hazy, blurry like situations. Like how to say this? It's like I'm flowering them so much.
Yeah.
I'm flowering them.
Yeah.
Whereas my own self is dying.
You're withering. Yeah.
Yeah. It's my because I'm busy in helping them out without even helping myself out.
That's true. Yeah.
So 2024 is the year where I'm gonna put some water to keep myself alive, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's the progression. That's the transition that I see.
Yeah,
myself.
that's cool. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's self-love. That's for me. And yeah, all right. Thank you so much for answering, Debbie.
No.
Yeah.
It's more like you answering.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have been living in Australia since the year 2000. Okay, how was it like from the age 17, 18? You moved to Australia?
18.
18.
Yeah.
How was it like when you were 18 living abroad? Was it easy? Was it difficult?
Of course it was difficult. No, adjusting to new lifestyle.
Yeah.
Lifestyle here is obviously when you live with your parents under the same roof, and then now you have to do things independently for a start, especially at that age. It's probably not so bad for Westerners because at that age they already move out. But for us Asian, we are still considered not ready to do anything by yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
But because most of my good friends, they were already in Perth at that time. Some went like after Form 3. So it was more like me trying to motivate myself that I think I can do. I think I can do it.
Right.
Put that way, because they're already there and they survive. So adjusting to the lifestyle to do things by yourself, as simple as laundry, or to cook for yourself. Of course, it's hard.
Yeah.
And then we look at the culture. Like when we went to uni with international students, we were also international students, with other international students, different languages, different gestures, everything's different.
Yeah.
Just everyone with a different culture background.
Yep.
But as time goes by, then you start to kind of like learn the new cultures, I would say. Just trying to be open and accept as they are. Vice versa. I think they're also experiencing the same.
Yep.
Like one of the examples, we were in a shed house with, I've got another, a good friend of mine from Miri. And then we've got like a student from Africa. And then there's two from, I can't remember, somewhere in European students. So we're in a share house, different food. They find our food
Spicy.
Stinky.
So
small things like that. Of course, it started. It's not a big thing for us because we didn't realize that that's gonna annoy them. For example, so little things like that. And then you start. At first, you thought like, "Oh, this is. I don't think I can live with them," but no, it's just the differences.
Yeah.
So when you start to accept the differences, okay, if they can't stand the anchovies, for example, then you do not cook it when they're around.
Yeah.
Because our classes, our lectures are different time. So you do it when they're having their lectures.
Yeah, yeah.
So those are the things that, to me, that's the biggest thing. Trying to be open-minded, open to any, and appreciate the differences. Yes, it's hard. Of course, it probably started with a clash. And we literally, like, we sat down, all of the housemates, like they were telling her, oh, and the belacan. So because we're so used to it, you don't see that. You're not trying to offend them in any way.
Yeah.
It's just that, yes. So anyway, but
this is what we've been doing. You know?
Yeah, like, and then so we're just trying to explain that this is just part of our spices.
Yeah.
It's just like the Indian with their spices.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got an Indian housemate as well. Then she does this all sorts of spices smells.
Curry.
Some people can stand it.
Yeah.
We're exposed to it at school, but others they can't.
Yeah.
So it's an issue. But then but towards the second semester, third semester, we're all fine because we're trying to level all the differences.
Yeah.
So adjusting is definitely hard, but just trying to be open about it, speak up. It's just like how Westerners do. We tend to, like Asian, we tend to
bottle it.
It's same to me, like even up to this point, even though I've been this is my 24th years, I kept on telling myself that I can't just like keep how I feel and bottle up, because that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I have to speak and kind of like stand the same tall, sit at the same level. Like in a meeting, for example, at work, I work with so many different nationalities. So if you bring that sort of mentality, like you keep things, you don't speak up, they think that you don't have your own opinion or you're just not capable. So they see it differently.
Right.
So that's why I kept on telling myself that, now, Debbie, you have to say what you think. It's okay, because you're not telling them off, nor you're not disagreeing. You just have your own opinion.
Yeah.
So that's the purpose of having a meeting.
Yeah.
So everyone got their own say, and you may be wrong, or maybe your idea can be put on hold. Use some other days. That's cool. You just have to be open. So I think, to me, openness led to acceptance. That's just how I see it, with the culture, the lifestyle, all the differences. So there are obviously a lot of differences, but I learn it, in various situations. Yeah.
I would like to echo the things that you've mentioned, especially about us Asians, especially us Sarawakians. We like to keep things to ourselves because we don't want to offend anyone. We don't want to put an insult anyone when we're trying to speak up. Yeah. But actually, we just want to speak up with the things that we want to say, because if we think that that is something that is right, why shouldn't we speak up about it?
Yep.
But we've been ingrained, we've been told since young that it's okay. If you don't like it, it's okay. Just take it, just swallow it. Yeah. You get through it. I mean, I wish I could tell my younger self that no, when there are some things that you don't like, you should speak up about it, and don't just suck it up and take it and keep it to yourself, because that is when bullying happens.
True, that's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, there was me in high school. There was me in primary school, where I kept things to myself when people bullied me, but I chose to stay silent. Yeah, just so that
just let it be. Yeah, it will pass.
It will pass. Yeah. The more I keep quiet, probably one day I just hope and pray that this person will change. But no,
it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
Unfortunately.
So if I could turn back time, I would apply to the things that you mentioned. I'll speak up and just tell the person, stop doing whatever they've been doing. Yeah, I don't like it, and stop.
Yep.
But,
it actually makes a lot of difference. I think to be honest, I'm actually an introvert. So I actually like to keep things to myself. I do have a lot of ideas now. If I apply it to my work life, when I first started my career, that's exactly how I was. Literally, like, keep things to myself. Even if I have ideas, I'm probably only gonna tell my colleague, and it just kind of stays there. In a meeting, I was just you're not intimidated but you. Because we have I'm don't put this like in general, but in my upbringing, that's just how it is. You know, like you have to, what do you call that? Be low profile, humble. But I think...
Don't be a show off.
Yeah. You know, like just kind of keep it to yourself kind of mentality. And then you started to somehow grown up as that sort of person.
Yeah.
But we are not... Like even now when you speak up, you're not being rude. You're not being... And also I think it's appropriate because that is the reason why you're in a meeting.
Yeah.
Just to share ideas and, discuss if there's an issue,
Yeah.
So now that probably in the last, I would say 10 years, then I started to kind of like open up and I'll start to teach myself not to just keep quiet. So there are times you keep your mouth shut per se, but there's also time for you to kind of voice out what your opinion.
Yeah, I agree to what you say because when I was young, I don't blame my mom for this, but my mom would say things like, don't show off, don't tell things to your friends if you know some things. Later they will see you as a show off, don't show up if you think that you're good at something because people might think of you as you're being action. You just show off. So that's when I kept myself low profile in a way, especially when there are things that I really love. I choose to keep silent because I don't want people to perceive me as you. So basically, you're so I'll rather keep things to myself. But when I was young, I didn't know the borderline between being confident and being a show off, being a cocky guy.
Yes.
So back then, when I was young, I always perceive as being confident as being a show off. Yeah.
I have to agree.
Then as I grow, as I know myself better, actually that being confident is not equate being a show off.
Yeah.
When you're confident, when you have the confidence, it just shows that you have the confidence to do things.
Yeah.
But as I was ingrained when I was being told since young to just keep things to yourself. If you know some things, just keep your talents to yourself, because people may not like you. People might perceive you as show off, or this guy thinks that he knows stuff and whatnot. I mean, if I could turn back time, I would say, like, you know what, whatever you want to think of me as, if you want to think me as a show off, that's your problem. Probably you have a problem within yourself. Probably you do not have the confidence that I have.
That's right. Yes,
and that is why you're telling me off, and that's why you're putting all these words to me.
Yeah.
Just to push me down, just to push me further down.
Yeah.
And
that's very unfortunate, isn't it? I think it's more like a society kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, instead of lift someone up or trying to tell them that, hey, you've actually expressed that in a right way, or you're trying to say, oh yeah, that's a good point. Instead you'd be like, oh, why don't you just kind of shut up?
Yeah.
I think it's more in a society, unfortunately. Whereas abroad, because I've seen this. Like, I've worked in Malaysia for a few years, even though it's only like small years. But I can already I can already do a little bit of comparison in terms of the
working
culture. The culture here and also the culture there.
Right.
So, like, if you express yourself, I'll be like, hey, no, that's cool what you've done.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you're probably gonna get told off by your boss or your coworkers or your colleagues.
Yeah.
And then that actually make you feel like, oh, then you won't do it again. And then eventually you lose that confidence.
Yeah.
So I think it's more like a society thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, expressing yourself, right? Yeah. That's the word that I was trying to scratch out. Like, what is the word? Yeah, expressing yourself. And when I was young, I did a lot of self-reflection yesterday. I do not know why, but was it yesterday or the day before? While I was washing my car, I suddenly remembered that I was even though I'm an introvert, I actually like to hang out with people regardless of gender. So when I was in high school, I always hung out with boys and girls. But every time I would go out and catch up things with these female friends of mine, some guys would say things like, "Oh, Barry, no hate, not discriminating. Oh, Barry, you're gay because you hang out with girls." I'm like, what is so gay about hanging out with girls? Are you guys man enough just because you don't hang out with girls? But instead of actually reflecting it in a constructive way, I took 100% bluntly the things that they said, and it kind of tore me away. It tore me apart. Like, probably I shouldn't hang out with girls anymore. Like, probably I should only go out with girls when they are not around. So
that's sad, isn't it?
Very, very sad. I felt sorry to myself because I listened to them. When in hindsight, I didn't actually do anything wrong.
Yeah.
It was just me being friendly to both male and female.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with being friendly, but I chose to take their words, and eventually their words have eaten me alive.
Yeah.
So it went to a point where I choose to only hang out with girls when they're not around. I don't know. Probably they see things that they're deemed as, I see Barry as intimidating, so I'm just gonna say some things just to hurt him off.
Some mean things.
Yeah.
But I don't think they did that intentionally.
Maybe.
Again, it's more because majority they think that way.
Yeah.
So and then, the minority obviously gonna get hurt, if you know what I mean. Because that is just how the majority sees it.
Yeah.
It's probably not only one person think that way. So there's a group sees it that way. Unfortunately, they're not open-minded enough to see it differently. But
I mean, when you're in a flock of men, in a group of men, and there's this one person that stands out, and it's the leader of the group.
Yeah.
When the leader of the group says some things, of course.
Yeah.
The members at the back I agree with you. Yeah, maybe he's gay. I know.
Very sad.
But whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's our take lah. And so all right. As an Iban in Australia, I'm intrigued to know what are the Sarawakian things that you have exposed to those people in Australia.
I'm very, very much into our culture.
Yeah.
That way. I'm actually quite honored and to be part of the organizing committee members for the annual Gawai. So the Gawai celebration has been ongoing. Hang on. Last year was the 20th years. It has been obviously founded by an Iban couple, so Uncle Anom and Auntie May. And then there are several other Ibans that they have been living abroad in Perth. So initially it started like a small gathering, but it just got bigger. And then over the years we did it at a hall.
Right.
It's just like here, in the hall where all the guests, we do have, like, we invited guests and also the Iban families that's living in Perth. And then last year, I was one of the committee members. So we did quite a bit of the traditional stuff. So we did the Ngalu Temuai, which we're trying to imitate how at a longhouse when you welcome your guests.
Yep.
So we literally bertaboh from the front gate as we usher them into the house. So that was during the Gawai open house. And then, the ngajat thing, which we trying to keep all that, the traditional stuff alive. Like we also met the authentic, the usual, the most common panso.
Yeah.
And then we make all these sweets, the Iban, what we usually serve during Gawai. So all that. So, we have been doing that annually. And last year was very special because the 20th, I managed to tear up and be in contact with TVS. So we were on Berita Iban, TVS, on the day when we celebrate at Gawai. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Other than that, I think probably 8 years ago, I actually assisted Ministry of Tourism, Malaysia, to organize few Sarawak Iban students to perform ngajat during there's an event, tourism event in Perth. So because they couldn't find the students, but I have friends and links, and then I managed to get a group of Iban students together and teach them how to ngajat. So yeah, that's another thing that I probably could think of. But yeah, I'm very much into culture preserving and trying to obviously introduce. So during Gawai, we're trying to invite the locals. So just to get them to understand and also get them to enjoy our food and to see our culture. Right. Because we all dress in our traditional costumes. So yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, those are the highlights, put it that way.
Yeah. So the Iban community in Perth, you guys are closely knit? Are you guys close?
Yeah. We do have like the common group that we do every Friday night. We do potlucks.
Oh, every Friday.
Yeah, that's how we call it, Friday night dinner. So every Friday we will get together, but and just bring our own food, and then we eat together. Just chill.
Nice.
Yeah. And we're quite close as well. So it's a really nice small circle of Iban community, mostly from Miri. And then some from obviously other states in Sarawak. Yeah.
I have some friends who are from Perth. Probably they've never heard about. Yeah, I can tell them about this. Yeah,
it's actually now it's obviously the group are getting bigger. And then it's because some of the, like me, for example, like some of the students back then, kerja, and then you reside there. Yeah, that's how we grow.
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna talk about this. Mari by Entayang.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Instagram by now. Yeah. Established in 2016. When you first started in 2016, was it difficult for you to get all the materials, or do you have it all ready in Australia? You just need to do it on the go.
Okay. The 2016 is really when I registered it as a business, a small business. But I have been pretty much into beading since I was young. I love, well, I guess, how do I put this? I enjoy handcrafts. So I even, I learned how to weave from my grandma, from my late grandma. I've actually learned how to bead from, maybe when I was in my teens. And then I developed that along the way, and I started to make my own jewelries, and then from beads, and then my family started to get me to do it, and then it just started that way. And then 2016 is really when I kind of like see it as a business. Prior to that, it's more like a hobby and just make it for family and friends. In terms of materials, some of the glass beads I will source it from Kuching or from Sarawak. If I make the big Mari Empang, for example, I'll bring like when I go back next week, I'll bring bags of them, because I can get it in Perth. But color wise, because most of if I make Mari Empang, I want to stick to the Sarawak colors. But their red is not really the red that way. So things like that. Right. But when I do more modern contemporary sort of jewelries, then I will mix it with the colors that I can get in Perth. Right. So, and then in terms of the stones, because I do make like a one-piece necklace or bracelets. When I travel, because I like to travel, so when I travel, I'll just purchase it all over the world, kind of thing. I do collections of nice beads, and then but most of the stones I will try to get it from other countries, because I think it's pretty unique, because it comes with story. Every, if it's painted, the story behind it. So I like those things. So I will ask the sellers, for example, what does it mean? Or, is there any symbol in terms of the colors? Right. So yeah, things like that. Yep. But to answer the question, material-wise, I'll get it from everywhere, depending on what sort of pieces that I would like to produce. Yep. Things like that.
Right. So all of these gemstones or the earpieces that you've made, do they have any stories behind it, or you just like, okay, I'm just gonna make product A and that's it?
Yes, I do. I don't. If I intend to make my maret, for example, it will take me probably several weeks for me to kind of trying to do my own study in terms of the design, the colors, and then the intended person, because every piece produced to me unique.
Right.
And it's also for I don't know who's going to purchase them, but whoever that sees them, that purchase them, that's just meant for that person. Per se. Yeah. Because I don't make duplicate patterns. Not for the maret, definitely, but for earrings, sometimes I do have customers that want an exact design and colors to the other, but I've actually made it clear that this is going to be a second or third piece. The original piece already been purchased by by someone else. Yeah, but I will tell them. But that's okay if they want a duplicated design and colors. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, they do have their own uniqueness.
I see. All right. So about your Marit by Entayang again, any stories about it that you will never forget until today? Any best experience or any nice stories that you cherish for the rest of your life when it comes to making any of these products? Probably some customer will say, "Oh, I love your craft. Can you make another one for my husband or whatever?" Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. There are lots of that connections. I don't see it. Hence, when I make them, if I put them together, I really spend a good time. I don't just make it for the sake of
making it.
And yes, of course, Of course, you want the money. You don't want to sound like you don't need the money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you want the satisfaction of you making it and the person that's going to purchase it. And the story that will link to the person that purchased it, that's actually, I value that. So when I consult with my customers or potential customer, we usually have a chat about it. So there's one piece that I kind of touched my heart. So I was in Kuching at the time, and I got an exhibition in KK.
Oh.
So I got to meet, because I've been exhibiting in Brunei, within Malaysia, KL, KK, Kuching. And then I also went to Brunei and also Singapore. So this particular customer, I got to know her in KK. And then she's been following me, but she hasn't purchased anything. It was just, I guess she was just, she likes my work, but she doesn't use it like me. I make it, but I don't wear it. Yeah.
Right.
So there was one day she actually DM'd me on Instagram, and then she went, I really like the butterfly that you made. And then she went, can you make another one? So then she gave me the colors. She wanted the colors. And then once it's all done, and then I told her, oh, it's done. Wait, how do you want me to post it? And then she went, please send this to my friend in KL. And then a friend of hers is actually going through treatment for her cancer.
Oh.
And then she chose those particular color just to represent their friendship.
Oh.
So she was explaining, literally, like she was telling me from her heart, from me making it, how I should make it so it expresses how she feels toward her friends. That was just so beautiful. Yes, and I was like, wow. You didn't, when I put it together, I was just put it together because I see it as a beautiful butterflies. But she sees it differently. And then how she wants her friend to receive it. It's just amazing.
Wow.
I didn't think it that way.
Yeah.
But that happened, well, probably over 10 years ago now.
How was
but
the process
I still,
like? Yeah.
but I still remember exactly what she was telling me and how she wants her friends to see it. So that's beautiful.
Must be an experience where I need to do this. I mean, it's not that I want to do this out of love. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pour my heart and my soul on it. Yeah.
Because she's not a bidder. She's not a bidder. She even told me she's not creative, but she just want that butterfly to look like this with these colors, and it turned out to be a pendant. It's actually it's a statement. And then she said, "Oh, please send this to my friend. She's actually at the hospital now, undergoing treatment." And I was like, wow. I didn't think that this piece of jewelry actually goes a long way. Yeah. So that's one of many. I've actually developed friendship, relationship, community with all these art people.
Yeah.
I just enjoy art market because not only I get to sell my stuff or exhibit my stuff, it actually touches different parties in different ways. Yeah, but up to now I do have lots of friends now. My what I call my art and craft friends.
Yeah.
And everyone got their own. They're all gifted by God to come out with all sorts of things that I probably can beat. They can do other stuff and vice versa. Like we're just valuing our own talent. Put it that way. Yeah. So that's actually a lot of story. I won't be able to cover it today.
Right.
But it's one of many that really touches my heart.
But that's a beautiful story.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Any feedback from her?
Sad. Oh, her friend love it. She loves it, and then I didn't ask what happened after that, but she was telling me that her friends really love it, and she's been wearing it. But that's about it. I just didn't want to go any further with that. Yeah.
I mean, it's a testament that on your Instagram, judging from your Instagram, you have 5,000 followers on your page. I mean, it's a community where gather up 5,000 people. Come. I mean, you could see a lot of people supporting you. I mean, I think the 5,000 that stays, they are really, really those that connect. Because if I'm pretty sure you browse this. The jewelries that I produce, some of them are not commonly seen. I don't know if you notice. Those are the compliments or those are the comments that I usually get from my customers. Nice.
So if they bump into my booth, they was like, "Oh, this is different." You don't. Hence, I have a lot of customers from Malaysia or from Singapore, or even from Brunei, that's still in contact with me, even though I'm in Perth. That's why when I came back with heavy baggages, because I'm actually bringing their orders. Hence, I've been everywhere meeting up with my customers.
Nice.
Yeah. So what I've done, I've actually compile all my orders, and then I'll post it on a monthly basis, depending on their urgency. But I still do have a lot of orders from Malaysia. So to me, that's really sweet, even though I'm not here, but they still got that trust for me to, come up with something.
Right.
Yeah. So I kind of, I really, to me, it's a community. They're my friend. They're not my customers anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful how you see them as your community, as your friends, not just some followers.
No,
friends.
because I've seen, like I said, they're not my friends. They literally like ask, "How are you doing? When are you gonna come home? What are your new stuff?" So that's more than a customer. Yeah.
Is that your trademark that you're trying to put in your brand? Like you wanna create things that people cannot see in other places, like they can only find it on your brand. Is that what you're trying to portray?
It actually shows by itself. That was not my intention. Because when I started, like I said, it was just part of my pastime activities. So But as I progress, and then I learn as I go, and then I learn what my customers want to see. You know, sometimes you see things differently, and then you're like, no, I think this is beautiful. But other people see it differently. Some of them, they're literally like turning around and ask, what is this? I see that as whatever abstract stuff that I came out from my head, but they sees it totally different, like something that I could not even imagine. So, and then as time goes by, I kept on producing things like that. Like, I like abstract. I don't know if you see more geometric kind of thing.
Right.
And then I slowly understand the market. My market is not big, but I've got the return customer.
Yeah.
And the customer that really value it. Because to me, I'm not mass producing, and that's not my intention.
Right.
And I don't wanna publicity. No, I just want to produce something that I like to produce, and my friend like to say. So, but slowly, somehow, it progressed that way.
Yeah.
But that was not my intention.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, the way I put it together, the way I think, because I do have a lot of compliments. Your color combination is really, really nice. But in my head, it's like,
Best saja.
exactly. But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Yes. But sometimes you feel like, is this a compliment or is this a...
Yeah. You start to second guessing, like, what is this? Yeah. But you take it as a compliment.
Course. That's part of, to me, that's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the design, you're like, okay, sometimes I have to put it aside. Sometimes I have to discontinue. I've started, but I don't put it out there. There are lots in my stash that I haven't put it out there.
Right.
It got to be, like, how do I say it? It has a right time and a right place. Not everything that I produce, I'll display it.
Right.
Yeah. I've got a selected things. Yeah.
Okay. That is the success story of Mari by Entayang.
Thank you.
Okay. What are the not so success story on the other side? Yeah, that you have experienced.
I think it's kind of challenge to get a younger generation to, because most of my customers are kind of like around my age or older. So I actually got a lot of aunties.
I see.
So most of my customers are kind of that. But yes, it's a flip side to the success.
Yeah.
But it's not really a flip.
Yeah.
Again, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can accommodate that anyway. I can't accommodate to every level.
Yeah.
So yes, it probably it's not a failure. It's just that it's kind of difficult to target that group, the younger group.
Right.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, if as long as they're happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if your niche market is for the aunties, then so be it.
Correct. Yeah. It wasn't my choice. I didn't choose them, but it's just the way I express myself through my work.
Yeah.
The aunties attracted to it. So I've actually had a lot of coffee session with aunties in the past 3 weeks.
Which is cool. Come on, aunties. Hi. How are you? Hello. Any Latins? Any YBs?
Yes.
Customers?
Yeah. I do have several pieces that got framed for the ministers.
Oh.
So
Any A-listers?
Sorry?
Any A-listers customers? Latin apa kah? YB apa kah?
Yes.
Can you name them? Are you fine?
No.
Oh no. I borrow more flex on this podcast. No.
No, I do have my in my regular contacts.
Nice.
So if they have function, they will be like, do you have any new nice tones now?
Okay.
Yeah. And I will string it and then send it. Yeah.
Best money you've produced in one purchase.
I think the exhibition in KK, surprisingly, they are very supportive of handcrafts. So KK and Singapore.
Oh, exhibition, huh? Singapore also exhibition.
Yeah, I got invited twice to the exhibition in Singapore by their NGOs, and it was good. Yep.
Nice. Can
it's
you
just that I could not
any
stock up to
rough figures that you can share with us that you have obtained?
The Singapore one close to 10k.
Ooh.
Sing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
10K Sing times 3.6.
It's just that I could not, because obviously I was selling in Sing, but I could not stop because it was a 3 days conferences. There were 2 conferences going on at the same time, and it was 3 days. I could not stock up, and then my last day, I literally got like a little bit left.
Right.
But because I didn't think that it was like well received, because my design is more. Sometimes I can come out with very traditional kind of look. So I didn't think that it, they like it.
Yeah.
But fortunately, there is and then because they kept on asking me that the stories are behind every pieces. So those are those that really value that every piece.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it was good. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you don't feel bad if you cannot penetrate the young ones, the market of the young ones.
Yeah.
Look at it like Bonia lah, like Bonia.
True. Yeah.
Bonia is known for the aunties brand.
Yeah.
But they're still there,
Correct. Yeah. And also, if I can cater for every level, then I probably won't be able to produce the best.
Yeah.
And then I'm probably gonna somehow sacrifice
Yeah.
a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. With you probably ideally you would want to be able to cater for everyone, but no, I don't think it's gonna work that way.
Yeah. In a perfect world, of course, you want to cater to everyone.
Yeah.
every age group, but yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever floats. Yeah. Do you make any products for the Adams, for the men's?
Upon request, like I did it because my late dad, they always have this function with the golfers. So if the golfer got an event, and then they will have the rantai.
Right.
So I made several for them. As well, and then like sometimes there's like a lucky draw prizes. So if they want to donate, so they will contact me. Oh, can you make me several pieces because I want to donate it? So upon request.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not only for the ladies lah.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that obviously predominantly I will obviously make it for ladies.
Yeah. I see. So what are your goals for the next couple of years for that brand of yours? Like, where do you foresee it? Can you see it as a full-time thing, or do you choose to see it as a side hustle?
It will be a side hustle because I enjoy my day job.
Yeah. And
I will keep it this way. And plus I got a young baby, which ideally you want to spend more time making your crafts, but no. And then I don't want to also eat up my quality time with my family. So I will just keep it as it is, put it that way, with time-wise. It will be different story as my kid gets older, maybe. Then it's a different conversation altogether. Yeah, but for now, just keep it as it is. Because I'm also exhibiting in Perth.
Oh.
So I exhibit last year in the Women Expo. And there are. I actually sold quite a bit of the netted pieces. They asked me the question, like, that's why I said they value, like, they actually enjoy listening to your question,
right?
And then they purchase it also with like wholeheartedly. You could see that they make their kind of thing. So that was like wow, So those are the things that I want to still kind of explore the Australian market, and now I've trying to learn the indigenous artwork. I obviously can't because everything is copyright but I will come up with my own sort of design and then see where I can go with that. But I do want to bring up and explore their art as well. Yeah, it's just like us here. We got our own Ukeran thing. So the indigenous in Australia, they have theirs as well.
Right. I see. I'm very intrigued to know the A-listers, but I'm gonna ask you later on. Okay, I'm gonna move on from the beats and all that to your full-time job as an instructional designer.
Yep.
Probably some of our viewers or listeners have known this already, but this is the first time I hear this, instructional designer. So what do you do for your full-time job? What is that job about?
Okay. So instructional designer is really just designing or converting the hard copy materials, training materials to e-learning. So that the process of converting it to e-learn packages, that's what we call it. Because when I started working in education industry, and then for some reason I end up become lecturer. And then I went to corporate training, become a corporate trainer. And then for some reason now I'm an instructional designer. So I have been in that sort of education and training all these years. And this instructional designer is something that I think my strength. So the big bosses sent me for training, and then they thought that, because prior to this we were using PowerPoint. Maybe 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
And then slowly now everything digitalized. Especially during COVID, we do everything remotely.
Yeah.
So instructional design position kind of like booming, because everyone needs everything to be converted on to be used online. So now I end up become the instructional designer, which I enjoy. But you have to because I do have the knowledge with the hard copy, because I develop a syllabus based on the Australian vocational training. I've also got a certification to develop training packages. So all that knowledge that I've gained, all the experience that I gained, hence why I am able to do what I do now.
Wow.
Yeah, because you do have to comply with all the standards, their benchmark. You can't just simply develop training materials based on whatever that you pick on Google per se. No, you can't. Because you're going to get audited. So you need to have your proper training plan ready. So the fact that I had that years of experience in training and education, and then when they offered me this position, I was like, yep, I think I can do it, because I do have that knowledge and experience behind me. Yeah. But in short, it's really converting the hard copy training materials into e-learn packages.
Right.
Yeah.
So pretty much you mentioned that you are in the education department. So do you actually train students?
Yes, I was. Okay. So I started with international student. I did that for 3-4 years. And then I got sent for like additional training to get my certification.
Right.
So I'm certified to teach. And then I moved on to mining company and become a corporate trainer. So and then from there, now I'm still with a mining company, which we mine gold. So it's just kind of progress from there. Yeah.
So now you train all the miners and all that.
Yeah. So all conduct induction, because all those are obviously compliance, especially in the mining. You just safety and things like that. It's just number one. So those are the training materials that I kind of focus on. So I develop them and I also conduct them. And then now I just develop the electronic.
Cool.
Put it together. But I still, on the other role is obviously to make sure that they comply with whatever standards and the mining legislation.
Right. I can't help it but to ask this question because as a Sarawakian working in Australia as a professional, do you get this sort of prejudice from them? You know, like, oh, your skin tone is different than us. You're not Australian. We don't want to work with you and all that. I mean, do you face that?
Yes. But it's not You know when I mentioned about expressing yourself?
Yeah.
If you do not express yourself, if you keep your things to yourself or keep your ideas or your knowledge, then that's where you're gonna get that perception that you're not good enough. You're just not, you're just not performing. So that's just how they see it in general. That's just the company policy. Because you're not contributing, you are not performing. But when you express yourself or you speak up, or even a slight contribution ideas, then you're part of the company. Yeah. So in the I can't really share like a really, really bad sort of experience.
Right.
But you do get people like, is she good enough? Because unfortunately in our society we see it's the gender thing.
Right.
Here. You're a lady, you're not capable, and you don't deserve to sit in that chair. But in Perth, I can't say it's in other states, or I can't say in other country. But based on my experience, no, you show your knowledge.
You're capable.
Your capability. Like I said, if you speak up, that's just good enough. Because then, you're telling me that you know what you're talking about. Right. You have to know what you're talking about. You have to know. You must know. You must have that facts.
Right.
You can't just
babble.
You can't just bullshit them, because that's no. Yeah. Because you sit with other professionals that they're very experienced. They've been in the industry for 30 years, 40 years. But in my opinion, in my experience, it goes both ways. You respect them, you value them, you seek. If you're not sure, just be honest. Just say, I'm not exactly sure, but I think da. Or this is my opinion. What do you think? They're okay with that. But to answer your question, I haven't really come across discrimination, because that's a big no in Australia. Right. Equality, diversity, those are number ones. Right. So you just do not say wrong thing. Yeah. You just don't genderize anyone. Yeah. Right. Okay. So it's, to me, I'm very comfortable where I am. Yeah.
Cool. So now we're at the end of the show. Thank you so much, Debbie, for coming to the show and to share your experience of 24 years living in Australia and your business and all that. I wish you success in all the things that you do for your family, for the business, for the full-time job, and yada. And any last words you want to say to our viewers out there? The blue camera.
Oh, blue camera.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Like no, like if I bring back to the podcast, I really enjoy it. I've been following Barry. Then since I'm here in Kuching, might as well catch up with Barry. Yeah. But maybe just, I think among all of the things that we've been talking about, it's just the self-love, how you express yourself. I think is very important. Yeah. And then to the young ones, if you somehow feel that you got discriminated or you got being pushed aside or bullied, you just need to somehow self-reflect and maybe start to speak up and explain. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to do it in a wrong way. Just have a chat. That might going to somehow change their mind or change them. You don't know. So, I think that's the biggest thing. I'm in my 40s now. I think, like you were saying, if I could just turn back the time, there are probably a lot of things that can be fixed. Yeah. Thank you. No, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the slot. I was quite busy. I was like, I'm not available this day. Thank you for accommodating.
Thank you for actually, what do you call that? Thank you for approaching by DM me on TikTok, or out of all social media platforms, she DM me on TikTok. I'm rarely on TikTok, to be honest. I'm mostly on Instagram and Facebook. But thank you so much for actually show your interest to be part of this this project of mine, this podcast, where you want to share your stories and all that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I am intrigued to know, what do you see on this podcast, actually, to be honest? What made you to like, okay, I want to be part?
As because I've seen most of your episodes, and literally like when I do my work,
thank you.
I've got my listening. It's just to me, it's very interesting to hear the stories. Everyone have got their own stories,
Correct.
And you learn from that.
Yeah.
And then some are like you can relate to it, or you probably been through it. And it's like, oh, I never see it that way. I never think it that way.
Yeah.
So, and then I thought, like, if I, in any way, if even if it's a slight things that can be a takeaway, then plus I'm here, and I thought, like, oh, just have a chat.
Nice.
Hence, when I said, I don't know if we have the time, but
eventually we made it. Yeah, eventually we made it. Yeah, cool. So I'm sure there are a lot of takeaways to be taken from this episode. I'm surely have taken a lot from self-love to your experience while making all these beats and all that. It was beautiful sharing how you've helped a customer for the another cancer patient in KL, and your experience in working as a full-time professional. I mean, that could boost me up a bit, probably I could change my mindset a bit about my working phase here in Sarawak, in Kuching, and probably that could help me for my career progression. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, my career progression.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
It's a journey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a journey. And we'll see how my career growth is like. And I can't wait to see what's in store. Yeah. So thank you, Debbie.
Thanks to you.
Thank you to the both of us. Yeah. So this is episode 46. Yes, episode 46 of the podcast with Debbie. Check it out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. If you love this episode, please do share it to your friends, your loved ones. For those friends and family members who are in Perth right now, if you do not know where to go, if you want to build a bigger community, a Sarawak community, you do not know where to go, just search for her on Instagram or TikTok, and I'll put on the links on her socials later on my YouTube channel, on my YouTube episode of this. And see you in the next episode. Probably in 3 weeks time we have more videos, so stay tuned, stay glued to this Bear and Brain podcast. Don't forget to share it. I said it again. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok, Bear and see you in the next video.
See you.
Bye bye.